We're here. We're back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of On It. You got me, you got Devin. We got some things to talk about. We got week 2 games to preview and to predict. We got Thursday night football to talk about. A lot from Thursday night football that there is to talk about.
Too much.
Some fantasy football, a couple off the record things. I guess so. Would you rather start the pod off predicting these week 2 games, or would you rather start talking about this Thursday night football game?
I think the Thursday night game is fresh. I watched all of the important parts of the game. I think fourth quarter was 0 in terms of importance. So I saw everything first quarter to third. Yeah, definitely the more fresh in the brain.
Okay, so let's talk Bills Dolphins, and let's start by talking about the game, because there are
Yes.
there are other things I want to get into, specifically, maybe one of the quarterbacks and the Bills fans, because I got a little issue with them Bills
You
fans.
can run the beef with the Bills.
That's fine. I'm not afraid of Bills Mafia, especially like the YouTube's like subscriber, like Bills Mafia, like whatever, like Internet Mafia, whatever, Bills Internet Mafia, whatever you want to call it.
Bills Bros.
The Bills Butt Bros. But
Big booty Bills Bros.
but
Because they love big dude butts.
I said Bills were gonna win. For some reason, you picked the Dolphins.
I did, and I'll eat my words. I was
and I'm
wrong.
not. Here's the
And
thing.
now I think my prediction, it was based off of how the Bills defense would play, and I was wrong in that aspect. The Bills defense contained the Miami offense as best as they possibly could, and they did it incredibly well. And I said that the Miami defense would do better at containing the Bills than the Bills would at containing Miami, but Miami did nothing when it
Okay,
comes to
I was waiting for you to get
containment.
to the. I was waiting for you to get to that point of Miami, and I don't know if you were going to mention their defense. I was going to mention more of their offense. And I kind of feel bad, like shitting on Tua and like talking bad about his like performance. So I want to like
Especially at
make
this
it
point, yeah.
clear. Like I want to make it clear, like we got to be able to separate,
We have to
like,
talk prior
what,
injury.
yeah, what happened
Yes.
prior to that injury and how
Yes.
well or how bad he was performing before that.
Yes.
Because
Now you can put his performance on his prior injuries, but you really can't, because last year he spent the entire year being incredibly healthy. And I do want to put this in there because Tua came into last year being what? He said he was 20, 30 pounds heavier than he was when he had been hurt. And then this offseason, he came into this offseason saying that he had lost 20 to 30 pounds coming into this year to be more agile, to be whatever the fuck. The same way Lamar did. Clearly didn't help, but
yeah. I mean, I don't really know how much the losing weight. Obviously, weight doesn't have a factor to do with that. That's a whole other thing. But I'm gonna wait to have that conversation, because the Bills' defense. All right, Tua played like shit. We got the emotional.
horrible.
We got the sympathy. Let's get that out the way. Tua played like shit. There were balls tipped and thrown right to Bills defenders. I mean,
Now, the first pick hit the Dolphins receiver in the chest or back shoulder.
I mean, no, it hit him where he should have caught that fucking.
That's
football.
he was not paying attention. That's an incredibly catchable ball that
One
you
of
need to
those right there.
catch. That's on the receivers. That's not on. I mean, you can put whatever on Tua, whatever. The second pick was not great. That was terrible. That
Well,
was
okay. See, but okay, people are doing the same thing, and honestly, I think that interception. And look, and I'm not trying to back up my take on are the Bills' defense going to be good or not. Or I don't know, but because I was waiting to see like how well they would play, especially against the wide receiver core like this,
sure.
and I don't really think that they were able to really show what they could do against a wide receiver core like that because of not only who was throwing the ball, but specifically the balls he was throwing that night.
Yes. Yeah.
But on that play in particular, and they mentioned it for like a second, that it seemed like there was some miscommunication in terms of either Tua thought he was running a different route or the receiver ran the wrong route.
With Robbie Anderson.
Yes,
Yeah.
chosen.
Chosen.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
It was so funny to watch the broadcast and be like, this is the chosen receiver, but formerly known as Robbie Anderson. You guys may know him as Robbie Anderson. His name's Robbie Anderson.
He's Robbie Anderson.
He's chosen for nothing.
But I mean that throw was so off that it had to like, and I mean, okay, haha, Tua sucks. He can't throw. No. That throw was so bad. It had to be. There had to be some miscommunication there.
Well, if you watch the actual pick, you can see that there's a linebacker coming in front of Robbie. He obviously sat too low in that route, and Tua's only way to get it over that linebacker was to throw it way high, and Robbie was not in his spot.
Well, from what it looks like, to me is Robbie. I can't remember the full route, but at some point, he came back. He was coming back to the ball. I don't know if he was running a hitch or something, but it Tua overthrew him. But I mean, the way he overthrew him, to me, it
like
seemed
he
like
expected him to be there.
there was a different route in both of their
Sure.
minds. And it's the same
It
thing
was the
with like,
same route. It was just deeper.
well, and I think it's easier to defend than the throw to Zay from Lamar. And everybody, and shout out to the people saying, "Oh, y'all are dumb. Shouldn't talk football. We shouldn't have a podcast." That's crazy because I told you, I was like, it's cool to shit on Lamar and say he fumbled in clutch time, but Zay should have stopped where he was, found the pocket in the end zone, in between the two
Yes.
defenders, and
Which
stayed
is
there.
what pro NFL receiver. AB said that.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say.
AB said bro needs to sit.
Multiple days after I said it.
Find your and I was the when I first saw that play and when we first came on here after that game, I came in here and I said he needs to sit in his spot, find it, and then stay there.
Yeah.
So he can
And
get the and now when Lamar talks about it, he was not looking for Zay the entire he was looking for Rashad. But still, find your spot and sit because he was open for a good minute there.
But so Lamar said he saw Zay last second. Zay didn't see Lamar last second. Zay saw Lamar. He should have stopped right
Then
there in that pocket.
sit in that pocket
Um,
exactly.
and he didn't. But then with this Tua interception, I mean, it definitely seemed like there was some miscommunication. Third one can't really defend, but
Which one was the third? I can't remember.
to be honest with you, I can't even remember. I remember at that point it was just another interception.
Oh no.
It was this right here. This is what I
That
hit.
was the that was a sideline ball. That was bad. That
Yeah.
was
Oh, when he tried to throw it away.
he tried to throw it away. He threw it
Yes.
straight to him. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. You're right. You're
That
right.
one's on
Yeah.
him.
It was that right there. That was a facepalm interception.
Now the first one you cannot put on Tua
No.
because it literally hit the receiver in the shoulder.
Mhm.
That's a good ball. The second one you can put that on Chosen or whatever the fuck his name is.
You could put the second one on Tua, but that's if he was wrong about what route it was supposed to be.
Agreed.
I'm gonna assume that there's a better chance the quarterback knew what route was supposed to be ran than the receiver. I could be wrong.
Agreed.
I could easily be wrong, but that's just my assumption.
But now when a guy like Ryan Tannehill throws 3 picks, we know kind of how he's throwing those picks,
Mhm.
and none of them are are the fault of the receiver or anybody else. They're all on him. Um, yeah, the throwaway sideline one was bad on Tua. Um, it's hard to like constructively um,
Criticize
criticize Tua
Tua.
because
Well, yeah, look, we'll
obvious
talk about
reasons,
the
but
injury, but look, and then so the Bills' defense to me, I still do not think that this was like, all right, we know they're set, we know they're good. Like, I just do not. I still like, I don't know. Like, you got a Arizona week one that, according to me, I'm stupid for thinking that Arizona did anything, or not according to me, but according to people online, I'm so dumb for thinking Arizona played well at all versus Buffalo's defense, especially in the
sure.
first half. Um, but and then they play I mean, just a terrible night from Tua. I mean, like I mean, I know we make jokes about Tua being bad, but
Sure.
I mean, some just Miami as a whole just played like shit. You
Now,
go to the
when we look at like Miami's offense, they truly struggled to get anything going. They completely eliminated the Tua or even the Jalen Waddle like man on man type of deep ball or whatever the fuck ball. And they did really well at that. And it forced them to use Jonnu Smith and some trick plays like jet sweeps and things like that.
see, but
And they
they were
did
doing,
pretty well at that, but it just completely eliminated Tyreek and Waddle, which looked okay.
but they were doing that the whole game.
No,
I mean,
they
from
they
from
they,
from the
they were, yeah, for
from
sure.
from the jump, it just seemed like the play calling seemed odd. Did it not seem odd
From
from Mike McDaniel
Miami.
from
Well,
Mike? Like, I mean,
Miami's immediate play calling was let's run trick plays. Their
yeah,
immediate play calling was not let's bomb the field with Tyreek and Waddle and speed.
and
Their
I think,
immediate play calling was, which it should not have been, but it was jet sweeps and trick runs and all of these things. Which to me, it's like once all else fails, use those things with speed. But it was
well, no,
weird.
you throw them in. That's cool. And to be honest with you, the people that benefited the most off of the motions and jet sweeps are Miami's running backs. But they decided to ditch. Well, they had to ditch the running game once they got down by however many points they were down.
Of
Um,
course.
but it's yeah, no,
Well,
they
they
just
were
need.
down. I mean, they tried to use the running game at some point, but I mean, second half they had no running game because they couldn't use it. They had to throw the ball, and
But the
then they
Bills,
just dive bombed.
I mean, the Bills' offense though, we had James Cook, 78 yards. He had 7 yards per carry, two tutties rushing. Also had a receiving touchdown. Josh
He,
Allen
yeah.
only had to throw 19 balls. Um,
No, I mean, it was to me. Yes, we can say Buffalo played great and whatever, but to me, this was more of a entire Miami Dolphins blunder, and a huge help that Tyreek played like shit, and that they were able to get the ball where they needed the ball, like to recover um, turnovers and things like that. And yeah, James Cook scores a 17-yard uh, catch and then a 50-yard run before the half and all this shit. And it's like these are good, but it doesn't prove to me that Buffalo's offense is multi-tiered. Like it
mm,
looked to me that Buffalo's offense was okay when they threw the ball to their receivers, but they were only really good when they ran the ball and when they did different things and when they did all this shit. It never looked to me like Buffalo was this powerhouse of a team that could score whenever they wanted and do whatever. It just looked like Miami put themselves in a bad situation just about every drive, and
mm.
uh, and it really fucked the Dolphins up. But
Now,
I mean, the Bills never looked like they were a beast of a team. It looked like they just got caught in really good situations where James Cook could go and fuck everybody up.
Oh, James Cook. I mean, James Cook was told.
He did his
James
thing, of
James
course.
Cook. James
I
Cook
mean,
had a
he
night.
looked great.
James Cook had a night, and here and let me say my problem with Bills Mafia. My little problem with Bills Mafia. So after week one, we talked about them playing the Bills playing Arizona,
Yes,
and we at least I came to the conclusion that I feel like their offense is just fine. There were a lot of narratives and conversations being had and being pushed that you know Diggs being gone is Josh Allen. Is he going to be able to backpack? What is this offense going to look like?
yeah,
And I thought hey I thought you got Josh Allen, who I put him up there as potential top 3 guy.
of
Um,
course.
and people, Bills Mafia were, hey, they're already claiming MVP for Josh Allen after week one. Oh, easy MVP. But also, I guess their defense is good. Their defense is good. Their defense is fine because like one of the comments I saw, they only gave up 270 yards. Only gave up 270
Only,
yards.
only,
Which,
only,
first
only,
of all,
only.
it was 286. So let's round it up. It was 290 yards. They gave up
Yeah,
290 yards, but also only 270 yards. Giving up that many yards against a team like Arizona, where
yes,
we were having conversations about them as besides what the future of Marvin Harrison Jr.,
yes. They have nothing.
them probably being a top
Bottom
5,
five team.
bottom 5, 10 team,
Yeah, but no,
um,
bottom five.
bottom 5 team, bottom 5 team. Um, so no, it's not. It's not. No, we're good. We only gave up 270 yards. Um, but
Now it is
also,
cool that they did great against Miami's offense.
but you
Miami's
can't.
offense had nothing for the majority of the game.
Mhm.
Congratulations. Um, but to me, it was like Buffalo was in a way gifted this win. If you actually watch the, I mean, obviously the score will tell you different, but if you watch the game, Buffalo was given a lot of opportunities that in a football game against a solid team or a solid quarterback or whatever the fuck would not
Mhm.
be able to be gifted again. Um, yeah, they wouldn't have these opportunities to play so well. But I mean, for what they had, they looked pretty good.
So okay, but call me crazy, but I feel like you can't have it both ways. Where it's like our defense is, I don't know, really good, and Josh Allen has already set first place MVP votes, no question. Because, and this is the reason, and they're gonna look back on a game like this months down the line when we have these MVP conversations. If your team can put up 31 points,
Mm-hmm.
score 7 points on defense, you only have to throw the ball 19 times. Your running back has a great day. You have an easy day. Shit, you could have been pulled mid third quarter.
He basically was.
You're you're not you're not winning. You're not winning MVP this year.
That's not MVP. No,
If
an
your team
MVP
is
is a
that
guy
good,
who plays the game.
if your team is that good, if your team is
Yes,
that set, if y'all are that raw, the MVP is out the window.
exactly.
Because and to be completely honest with you, I don't really see having a really good game against Arizona as being a big push for or being another big reason for why he should win MVP this year. I put him in second for his performance, but at the same time, I mean, A, I didn't put him first, and B, I mean, like I said, he balled out versus a team like Arizona. He got to pretty much sit back and throw a couple balls and let James Cook and that defense eat versus Miami.
Of course.
So, is their defense really good? Is he going to be an MVP? Are Bills Mafia kind of just a little too pushy when it comes to how good Buffalo really is? I mean, I can't really tell.
I mean, it's tough to talk shit on. I mean, yes, we can talk shit on Josh and him having an MVP performance. Which, if you're a Bills fan, be excited about the win because as a whole, the team looked way better than the actual parts itself. The
Mm.
defense looked better than it was supposed to, and Josh Allen did not have to do as much he was as he should have.
You didn't go into halftime going, "Oh, uh-oh.
Oh shit!
Oh."
No,
Uh,
they were good at halftime. All they had to do was stop the ball, and that's what they did. And then they got a pick six, and then the game was over. So
Yeah, I mean,
it was like, no, they had the game at halftime, and that was based off of James Cook's game. So if you want to hype up the Bills, you can hype up the Bills. But in this game, there's no hyping up Josh Allen because all Josh Allen did was throw the ball a few times, dump it off to James Cook. James Cook scored, and then that was it. It was a great game by the Bills, of course, and they took over for whatever the Dolphins did wrong. But by no means was it a beautiful performance by old Joshy.
it wasn't some superhero. I'm gonna put on my cape and put the team on my
No,
back performance by Josh
it
Allen.
was a
But
James
at the
Cook.
same
I'm gonna put
time,
on my back.
bro, these Buffalo fans are just sensitive. I mean,
Of course they are.
we did not say anything bad about Josh Allen. I said I thought Josh Allen looked great. I think the offense is just fine. Are there some questions about that defense? Yeah, I think they are. Did they answer them versus Miami? No.
No,
This is not the answer. That's not the
but
oh case closed. Their DBs are locked down defenders.
now do
No
their
fly zone.
DBs now their DBs look better than we thought they would. They didn't fuck up like we thought they would.
They look
But
better than week one.
of course, but at the same time, their offense looks like nothing what we thought it would or what Bills fans thought it would look like. There
It's
in there's no replacing what they had on that Bills offense. Khalil Shakir or whatever his name is can be a good number one, but there's no obvious number one on that team. There's no obvious, there's a threat on the Bills receiving team. Obviously, James Cook will be a threat, but there's no threat that Buffalo is going to be overpowering with the deep ball or with this ball or whatever the fuck. They will be a good, solid team, but there's no overpowering of that offense at all. They
and
were
also
given they were given the ball past the half a few times and they scored. They capitalized on what they had and good for them. But I mean, down the road, this doesn't tell us that they're going to be a beast of a team.
and call me crazy because I mean I'm not the biggest stat watcher, but Buffalo probably they haven't in the Josh Allen era. They probably haven't put up 31 points that many times with Josh Allen throwing the ball less than 20 times and not turning the ball over.
I
Like
agree. Yeah.
it just seems like Josh is like just a, and like I said, I could be completely wrong, but just a score like that, you think you just think from what you'd expect from the Bills offense this season. It's like, oh yeah, he backpacked that game, didn't he? Oh, he did. He threw the ball 19 times.
No. This was as horrible as a loss you could get from Miami,
Mm,
and a decent win from Buffalo. Like we there's not a whole lot we can say about Buffalo, other than when their defense needed to strap up, they strapped up, and then
yeah.
obviously James Cook will be good, but they did well to contain Tyreek. They did well to contain Waddle and all that stuff, but they were never in threat of being bombed on by the Dolphins because they fucked themselves immediately.
But I mean, Miami had the amount of times they took shots downfield. I mean, I could probably count on one hand.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many shots. I mean, it was mainly dump. I mean, Jonnu Smith was the best player on the fucking Dolphins the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
He made
Yeah,
some great plays, and he looked. And in the first half, I thought that the Dolphins could have had something going, but I mean, turnovers and all that stuff fucked the game up, and by mid third quarter, the game was over after that pick six.
Um, but yeah, no, that was really just for me to be like, all right, Bills fans need to relax because they were already talking crazy about us. Um, calling us stupid for saying, maybe the Bills defense might not be amazing because they let almost 300 yards. They allowed almost 300 yards
Yeah,
versus Arizona. But that's just us. We are gonna keep potting. We are gonna keep talking our.
I
We are
mean,
gonna keep talking football.
take your
Buffalo.
wins when you can take them. Like
That's the
this
thing,
is this is a good win for y'all. Like, but don't think that it's like we're Super Bowl bound now because
Yeah,
we beat the Dolphins.
yeah, and yeah, that's it. Well, yeah, no, yeah, yeah. I'm talking more from the standpoint of like just from the simple fact, or just from the simple thing of just uh fans coming at us, just saying like, just our takes are dumb because they are
Yeah,
Bills fans.
yeah, exactly.
Because they're Bills fans, they are upset with us putting any type of criticism on the Bills' names. Period.
Yeah,
So, like you said, yeah, take your wins. We'll keep talking about the Bills all season. We'll
but
keep discussing the
the thing
Bills.
is, we're gonna talk about every single
Yeah.
team,
Oh no, we're gonna talk about every single team, every single thing that
good or
happened,
bad.
and they can keep winning, a division every single year since the 40-year-old left. And that's what it needed. That's what it took for them to be able to win a division is for a 40-year-old to leave. So I mean,
They've they've never won a Super Bowl, so they can continue to.
they want to go there. That's the thing. If Bills Mafia wants to go there, I feel like especially as a Ravens fan, I could be very very anti Bills, and
As a me fan, as a Redskins fan, we won three of them. They went to four.
yeah. I mean, well, if you want,
Try
yeah,
again, losers.
if you want to compare history, sure, but like
Try
right
again.
now, right now, Bills could talk like to Washington fans a little bit, a
No,
little,
they can. But if we
a
want
lot
to
of
talk
it,
history,
a
go
lot of
fuck
it.
yourself.
Well,
Gives
yeah,
a
but I
shit.
mean, just yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, Bills fans are sensitive. Bills fans, they just
Yeah, it's
relax,
because they live
okay?
in cold ass dog shit Buffalo.
They have to root for Mac
Who the
Hollins.
fuck lives in Buffalo?
They have to root for Mac Hollins.
That sucks.
So I mean, that's
Hey,
their
well,
world.
Mac Hollins is gonna have to. I need to see a 3 hour long video of Mac Hollins in the snow, barefoot.
Oh, I
Otherwise,
mean, I need a
I'm not
day in the
saying
life
one good
of.
thing about the Bills.
No, I need a full day in the life of Mac Hollins.
In the snow.
Well, no, I need to see him walk around barefoot. I need to see him eat with his hands. I need to see all that stuff, I need to see all
Well,
the
I
weird stuff he
I
was
just want to
doing.
see him in the snow because he's not going to last more than 7 minutes.
I want to see him eat chili with his fucking hands,
I do
Devin.
want to see. And now I can eat chili with my bare hands, but
I want to see him eat chicken noodle soup with his bare hands.
that I want to see. I want to see
I
him eat
want
pumpkin squash
I
soup.
I I want to give him a plenty of things for him to eat with his bare hands. Say eat it. Go ahead.
Yes.
Eat it. It's cleaner.
You can feel the heat.
You
Fuck off.
can like your like mouth will be ready for it when you like bring it like to your face with
When
your
you
mouth
bring
with
it
your
to your
hand.
face, you'll feel ready.
But
You'll feel
anyway,
ready for what? You fucking loser. Sorry.
Tua, we gotta talk Tua.
Ah,
Um, so the Tua situation, obviously everybody knows. I mean, well, I mean, if you follow football, I guess
yep.
you're definitely gonna know what the Tua situation is, and
Yep.
that's him receiving another concussion versus the Bills.
Another bad concussion. One where he fenced again. Um, Fencing is the finger thing.
I don't remember him hitting that.
No, he hit.
I don't think he hit that. You might have to go back and check the.
No. So when he. So the craziest thing is that Damar Hamlin was the guy.
That's so, and I'm sorry, that's so stupid.
It's crazy stupid, but it is wild that's. I mean, the entire
Yeah,
game
it
they talked about
is. It's
how
wild.
no, but the entire game they talked about how they had a new safety core with Taylor Rapp and Damar Hamlin. But I mean, no, when he now, first of all, when you saw him run, what did you think?
All
Because when
right.
I saw him run, I got a guttural feeling of please the fuck get down. And immediately when I saw him take off, I was like, fuck, it's over.
Okay.
And
I'm
it
a
was
completely.
long, it was before he got it. It was like slow motion. Holy fuck, he's done. This is
Okay.
it.
I'm not trying to laugh. You're funny. I'm just sorry, Devin. Like you're a funny person. I'm sorry.
No, but
I'm not laughing at the
it
situation.
was lit. I was watching the game and I was
I'm
like, no fucking way he's running head first into a dude right now.
okay. I'm laughing because that's exactly. I'm telling you, that's exactly the feeling when I watched him run. It was like it was slow motion,
Slow motion.
and and you know how you always like have the thought like not even him but like anybody where it's like
Anybody could
okay,
get hurt.
think about it. Had Aaron Rodgers took that first snap versus San
Yes.
Francisco
And then
and went
booted it
down
straight. Yeah, exactly.
and just reaches at his ankle, like okay, but
Thousand
like
percent.
or even if he trips for a second,
Anything.
you would have been like,
Oh fuck.
oh, did he tear it? Like I watched when Arizona Anthony Richardson versus Houston.
Yes.
He threw a ball and he like hit his hand on either another arm or a helmet
Yes.
and
Or Joe Burrow when he goes to pick up the water bottle. Like Burrow looked like his wrist wasn't it, but it wasn't. It was before Tua even got hit. It was when Tua went to run
no,
that
that's
I
what I'm
got
saying.
scared.
I'm saying you always have that thought about certain players where it's like, oh, like of course, like something bad's probably gonna happen because it always does,
It was
and
just
then it
fear.
like it actually did.
It was
Like
fear.
I genuinely like, even though I had the same feeling as you of like, oh, he's gonna like this is not good. Why is he? Why don't
Why is he
run?
taking
Get down.
off?
I still was like in the back of my head. I'm like, but he's gonna like slide and
Of
everything's gonna be
course.
cool. And then it was, and then the hit wasn't even crazy. Like,
Well, it was the the hit. It wasn't a hit. It was more of like Damar stood there.
I mean, he kind of runs into his chest.
He ran into his. It was. I'm gonna be honest. It was the same play that took out Damar
It was a similar
two
type
years
of
ago,
tackle. It was a similar type of tackle.
where it was like he ran into him.
Yeah, just taking the
Damar
force.
Damar didn't put his head down or nothing. It was just like a you hit me in the chest, I'm gonna put you down type of
It was
situation.
routine.
It was a routine tackle and but the problem with this tackle is that we see I would say thousands of these tackles a game. And 99% of the time we see the guy get back up and be okay. Where he runs into a guy and maybe hits his head or whatever the fuck, but running backs get hit like that consistently.
Mm.
Um but no, when he hit Damar, he put his hand up and he did the finger thing and he fenced a little bit, and then he put his left hand and it curled a little bit and he put it under his head. It was a fencing where he reached out. The fencing is the reaching out and the
No,
finger
I
thing.
understand, and I since the first time you said it, I got what you mean. I just don't. I it to me when he did go down, he seemed a lot. I thought like just like when he went down the first bad one,
Yeah.
it was like an immediate like he was stuck, just like he was stuck, like
Well,
hands.
that was his
This he
second.
was moving a little bit more. He was moving a little bit more in that one, and I was like,
Which
I
one?
thought,
The one against the Bengals?
well, no, this last one in the sense of like just the way he was wincing at first. I thought it was like he seemed
Like he had been just hurt.
a little more. Well, no, I knew it was a concussion, but I thought he was just a little more aware, like there, conscious.
No, it was a little bit more than his very bad fencing against the Bengals when he did
Uh,
the complete finger backward thing. But the problem is that it looked like such a routine hit, and he still went into that type of lock
Yeah.
where he threw his arms out and he did the fingers, and
Well,
it wasn't immediate to the face and all that stuff, but it just looked horrendous.
I think it just goes to show that, I mean, a not everybody's body may just be meant to play a sport like that,
Yeah.
or maybe once your brain, takes some
Yes.
type of
Trauma.
trauma to that extent,
Yes.
it just
It
can't.
goes back to that.
It can't. It lowers the threshold for how much
Yes.
trauma it can take.
Yes.
Um, and I think it also goes to show, like, and this isn't like a haha told you moment, but like we've been sitting here saying, like, look, you can change all the rules you want, you can change all
Agreed.
the protection you want. At the
Agreed.
end of the day, it's football.
Agreed.
You can take out as much. You can take out, like, I mean, not to repeat myself, but you can change any rule. You make any rule changes you want, add any guardian caps, add any more protection you want. There's some things you just cannot avoid. There was absolutely no way for
There's no
anybody
way
to know that routine tackle just running into my chest. You're like, there's no
well
way
the the
anybody
the,
knew that was
the
actually gonna happen.
if you go back, I watched him recently. If you watch every single one of Tua's concussions, it has nothing to do with head on head compact pressure. It's
Mm.
all neck.
Well, his head,
Everything to do is neck moving. So
his
it's not, there's nothing that a guardian cap can do to protect the pressure because
no.
none of them are pressure related. His first one where he falls back on his head and he stumbles to get up, that was all neck. His second one where he gets thrown to the ground and he does the fencing, all neck.
Well,
His third one when he gets thrown to the ground,
when you're saying on neck, you mean in terms of
it's a whip.
the brain rattling around. You
Yes,
can't you
and
can't stop
it's
that.
not, it's not a pressure to the head, which
Yeah.
obviously, and honestly, the guardian cap was basically ruled out of being protective by more than whatever 10% or whatever the fuck it was. Like there's no way to for them to protect the neck.
In practice, Devin.
Now
In
it was
practice.
a little percent in practice, but um, to protect the neck, it's a completely different thing. Now when
You
Tua
can't
got hit,
protect
it
it.
wasn't the pressure that it took to his head. It was the fact that his neck went in like this and turned like this, and then he went into that thing. Obviously, it's a scary thing. Prayers up for Tua, and hopefully he's all good and whatever. But
But it's a super rare. I feel like it's a super rare case. I mean, look at all them hits Jaden Daniels took.
agreed.
How many times his head bashed against the ground when he was going down? I mean, how many times his helmet slid off every play, Devin? There was
I know.
nothing protecting that man's skull. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
And
but
that's
the
football.
it is football, and the craziest thing is like I I just don't want this to take away from. I don't want this to. I don't want the NFL to implement a shit ton of stuff to protect players in terms of like helmet forces when every single one of Tua's injuries was neck related. It was his head
Okay,
whiplashing
but
and hitting the ground or hitting
see,
something else.
I get what you're saying, but I don't even think that's the driving, like, argument you'd have to make. It's Tua is a very rare.
This is one guy.
He is an outlier in this
This
head
is a
injury
huge outlier.
situation. He, him, like, let's be real. The situations he's been in, the injuries he's had, is what has pushed a lot more of these rules being made.
Sure.
It hasn't been a large percentage of the league is
No.
just, it's just
Just
no. It's to
dropping
prevent
concussions.
it's to prevent another Aaron Hernandez situation being blamed on football. It's to
Sure.
prevent another Tua situation. Now,
Or I
luckily,
mean, but it's honestly to prevent another, or not to prevent another, but to prevent a terrible injury on the field, like a very
no,
bad
that's
one.
what I'm saying. A Tua injury. But
It,
but what I'm saying is it's
it's
head
not related
injuries.
to every
It's
football
head
player.
injuries. Period.
Yeah.
From when you step onto the field to when you're retired 20 years down the line, and your brain there, and you're blaming your brain's functions on what you did, playing football. Luckily, there's not a bunch of Aaron
No.
Hernandez's. There's not a bunch of Tua situations. So I don't think, obviously there's not many more rules you can make.
Now the craziest thing to me is like when Tua had all those concussions, all three of them, two were reported in 2022. He came back the next year with all training, jiu-jitsu training, he had said, and he had gained 30 odd pounds or whatever the fuck. And then he came into this season
Mhm.
saying that everyone looked at him and said he had lost a bunch of weight, said he had looked a little different, looked a little skinnier, and it was weird to see him go back to where he was in 2022, and obviously not. I don't want to say educate himself, but not protect himself to make a play where he needs to slide. Like, don't make the first down, whatever. Slide.
Okay, does that? Do you even think? I mean, yes, could have slid? Yeah, he could have slid, but it's not like
It wasn't a like a
he
out of
didn't.
nowhere football move. It
It
wasn't a
wasn't
crazy
like
football. It was a normal football move.
It wasn't like he. If anything, he kind of gave himself up.
He did.
He kind of, just I'm gonna run into you, and I'm gonna, you're gonna tackle me up, because he got it was. If I'm wrong, but it was a first down.
No, it was beyond the first down. Yeah, it was
Okay,
about
yeah,
3 yards past the first down.
yeah. He ran for the first down,
Got it,
and
and
kind
then
kind of
ran
just,
into Demar.
yeah. And let's talk about the real question that's being asked, and it's, should Tua retire?
And that's where it gets like scary, and it's like the fact that a routine if we look at football as a whole, that's an incredibly routine hit. It's an incredibly routine play. Every running back runs that play all the time. They get hit up the middle, whatever the fuck. The fact that he's so sensitive to those hits now because of his prior concussions, the fact that this could happen again, and the next time it happens, it could be incredibly worse. Um, it's scary and whatever, but I mean, there were calls for him to retire 2 years ago when it was really bad, and the fact that he can get hit at any moment on the field and still go into that horrible fencing, whatever the fuck, concussion, whatever. I mean, leads me to believe that if someone is in his best interest, would tell him to retire, or that if he was in his own best interest, that he would retire. But it's hard to tell an NFL player to retire, you know?
Do you think he should retire?
It's weird because it's like that's his livelihood and that's his everything, but at the same time, it's like
Okay, can I ask you some
clearly,
questions?
clearly you're not. I mean, there could be a next hit that you will not recover from. So
Can I ask? Okay, so do you think your brain is more important than one of your legs?
1,000%, yeah,
You think your brain is more important than your spine?
yes,
So then he should retire.
yes.
If Alex Smith and Ryan Shazier need to hang it up because of, spinal issues, or
Now Alex Smith was old. Ryan
no,
Shazier
no,
was
no, 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 no,
paralyzed.
no, no, no. Alex Smith came back specifically to show I could come back from this. He did
True,
not need there was no reason for him to play football
fair,
again. There
fair.
was, and Ryan Shazier obviously,
Has not
no,
returned.
yeah, no, there was no returning from that. Um I want to say, even I mean, I'm it's just
I mean, obviously, Demar returned, but his was a freak accident. It was not.
mhm.
Uh, there was no repetition, and it didn't happen multiple times. Like this is the only like we don't like when we see players get concussions, we see players get concussed and leave and whatever. We don't see it repeatedly happen to the same person in a much worse fashion each time. And if we did, we would tell if DeMar had his situation happen again, or if someone had another um, horrible concussion. But no one's had concussions like Tua has, and obviously it sucks for him to, I guess, think about retirement. But I mean, to take a routine hit like that and to fucking lock up like that is it has to be scary for him. And in my opinion, he probably should.
Yeah, yeah, I would have to agree. I think it's, and you say like it is his livelihood, and yeah, it sucks, but at the same time, I- he would be embraced
Of
so
course,
much, and the best thing, and I know it doesn't matter. Like obviously, the man wants to play football, or I would assume like before and after, like if his in the dream world he continues to play football, um, he would get to be embraced and have none of the negativity of like how I performed on Sunday.
no,
It would be just hey, if you're gonna be on this show, we're gonna watch it. If you're gonna
agreed,
do a podcast, we're gonna watch it.
agreed.
If you're gonna be a coach, we're gonna support you. Like, and it would just be all positivity, and it's not like he would just go into the shadows and be forgotten about. He would be
No,
it would be a you put your body and life on the line for a
yeah,
team and a franchise. You gotta you gotta you gotta kind of gotta support them for life.
of course. And this is after. I mean, the obvious calls that he should have retired 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, there's no looking down on him for retiring. I mean, again, it will suck, but I mean, for him, it's like it's this or it's like you risk your life, like
Yeah,
literally, like obviously NFL players risk their lives, and there are freak accidents that can happen, but it could be any fucking routine play. It could be any sack. It could be any tackle. It could be literally a trip, and he could be done. And I think for the NFL's sake, I think for his sake, I think for the Dolphins' sake, I think everybody, I think he should kind of take a step back and do
just
things
not play
differently.
football anymore. All right,
Yeah,
Devin. Let's predict these week 2 games.
let's do it.
Let's change the topic and let's predict these week 2 games. The first game we got is Baltimore versus Vegas.
That's simple, simple math.
So obviously, I'm going with Baltimore,
I
and
better not lose the fucking Vegas, dog.
we shouldn't just not lose the ball to Vegas. It should be an absolute blowout. I'm
Now,
talking.
sorry, this is different, but we need more 4 o'clock games. There's way too many 1 o'clock games.
Yes, 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock games is ridiculous.
It's nuts.
But definitely need like a complete shutout, like 49-6. Like I mean, like I
Yeah,
cannot. I need. I'm talking like I'm disappointed if Gardner Minshew has multiple
multiple touchdowns.
no, just multiple decent drives.
Sure.
Multiple decent drives. If he
I
gets in
mean,
the field goal range
Gardner put
more
it on y'all last year.
if he gets in the field goal range more than 2 times, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
That's
If he
fair.
gets in the field goal range more than 2 times, we better put up 49 points.
Agreed.
We
But
better we better just endless touchdowns.
he was one of y'all's losses last
Fuck
year.
him. Yeah. Well, yeah, because of the very obvious PI that was not called.
Agreed.
Um,
Also, I don't mean to derail this, but we I don't think we talked about it. There was a almost tying of um, Justin Tucker's record.
yeah.
He made it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a timeout called. No, there was
Mm-hmm.
a delay of game.
Uh-huh.
and then they refused. They didn't kick the 71-yarder, but someone tied JT, which was I thought would have been awesome, but
Womp womp.
womp
I
womp.
don't know what else to say. I don't know. Everybody's saying Justin Tucker's washed, so there's not much I can really say about that.
Agreed. Yeah,
Even though he's like obviously not washed.
clearly not.
Um,
But yeah, no, the Ravens. I think they need this game. I mean, they obviously need this game. They need to put one on. Obviously the AFC West, but honestly anybody. Um, I think they played good enough last week to beat the Chiefs, but Chiefs are the Chiefs, and they need to bring like they haven't in prior years. Need to bring the same exact energy into the Chiefs that they do, the Raiders that they do, the fucking Broncos,
mm-hmm,
anybody. They need to fuck
mm,
every fucking team up.
mm,
Because if they played like they did against the Chiefs, they're gonna fucking kill everybody.
100%. Chargers versus Panthers.
I mean, fuck. The way that the Panthers played is one of the worst. They look like one of the worst teams that could ever possibly step on a football field. So hopefully the Chargers can pee on them a little bit.
See, and I just need to see more from. I'm taking Chargers, but all I want to see is more from that wide
Yes.
receiving, just more from the pass game period.
Yeah.
They got saved from the run game last week because it wasn't necessarily we don't we don't have to pass because we can run. It was just holy shit, JK is back. Um,
And honestly, I can see this game going like that. I can see them front loading with their run game, and I mean their pass game can be whatever. But if J.K. shows up and if Gus shows up, I think they'll look okay. But yeah, obviously Quentin Johnson and Josh Palmer need to show the fuck up.
I mean, this is just a game where I think they can work on getting some chemistry because it seems like either they have zero chemistry,
Yeah.
or like I said last week, they are the worst wide receiving core in the NFL.
Yes. Either of
But
those.
yeah, I'm taking Chargers. I'm
Of
assuming
course.
you're also taking the Chargers.
Yes.
Dallas versus the Saints. Here we go. This is Devin. Here it is. The best version of Dallas Cowboys. The best version of the Cowboys you'll ever get to see. That's September Dallas. This
Yes.
is what the Saints get to go up against. The
Now
Saints.
is this going to be the best version of the Saints? We'll see.
I think we
Potentially.
saw that last week
I think we saw that last week,
because
of
right
course.
now they're 0-0. This is when we really see.
No, 1,000%.
Uh, this is when we really
Who
see what Derek Carr and the Saints are made of because
who'd the boys play last week?
Cleveland.
Yeah, no.
You remember.
I do remember that. I
You
forgot about that.
remember. Uh,
Obviously Cleveland had their issues, but both these teams are 0-0.
mm,
I cannot see a world in which
mm, uh,
the Saints win. I mean, maybe,
Cowboys are
but
1-0.
they are.
Cowboys are 1-0.
They are. But
Okay.
the Saints would have to offensively put up 47 again and defensively shut down
It's not
the
happening.
Cowboys, but
It's not
I don't
happening.
see that.
Dallas is
Not this week.
easily Dallas
Not
is
this week.
easily going to win
Now,
this
if
game.
the Saints played the Cowboys in the wild card, maybe they got a shot, but not week 2.
If the Saints are good enough to make the wild card round this year, then
They
yeah,
could beat them.
sure, I'll give it to them all day.
Yeah.
Tampa versus Detroit. I just want to say, when I saw this matchup, I just looked up to the football guys and wanted to thank them for making this sport because I love football.
That's awesome.
This is a
This
beautiful
is
game,
gorgeous.
just a beautiful matchup.
Yeah.
Two great NFC teams,
In
two great
Detroit,
teams in Detroit. Now, here's my problem. I love seeing how great the Detroit Lions are now, and I also love Tampa and Baker. Um, so I am gonna take my bias and put it aside and say and admit that I do not think the Bucks are on Detroit's level.
mhm,
Um, Obviously, Tampa is hot. They're hot. They're a hot topic. They're a higher ranked team in terms of success week 1, but
mhm,
they did play Washington.
mhm.
So I'm not gonna sit here and go, "Oh, this is what we're gonna get every single week out of Baker Mayfield, and it's just gonna be this easy."
Yeah, no.
It's
I
obviously
mean,
not. Detroit, in my eyes, may be the best team in the NFC.
mhm.
Um, and I mean, they had a couple blunders last week, and now look, the conversations will change in my eyes if this is a one score game. If this is a one score game, I think the conversation for me will change. But I mean, I see Detroit. I mean, I'm talking 10, 10 point, 13-point win.
I feel a little differently. I think this can be a one-score game. I don't think the Bucks. I don't think Detroit is gonna come with the same shitty energy that Washington did. Like I don't know if you watched or I don't know if you heard some of the mic'd up from the Washington Bucks game last week, but Baker was talking about. He was like, if they're gonna single cover Mike Evans, I'm just throwing it up to him. So that's apparently what we did the entire game, which was not double or triple Mike, and it was an easy touchdown a few times. I think Detroit will come with a better game plan defensively. I think Detroit's offense, if they can get Amon Ra running. Now, even if they don't, they still have Jameson Williams and they still have their run game and all that stuff.
So that's the thing.
Um,
They cooked last week, and Amon Ra was quiet.
Very quiet. He had 4 targets, 3 catches. So, I mean, again, even if they don't get Amon Ra running, I still think they're going to be a powerhouse. I mean, it could be a one-score game, but yeah, I think I definitely have the Lions
All right. Yeah, I just think Tampa has a lot more on their hands offensively and defensively
for sure.
when it comes to Detroit. Indianapolis versus Green Bay. I just got two things for this. Anthony Richardson better outperform Malik Willis.
Yeah,
But at the same time, we've been hearing a lot of shit.
I
We've
mean,
been
we
hearing a
hear all this
lot
shit
of
about the
shit talking
Packers.
about Green Bay. If this team is so good and so complete,
They
they
better
better still
compete without Jordan Love
they better still
because
be competitive.
Jordan Love, if that's your guy to be your entire team, then y'all ain't shit. But if this team can still be competitive, then whatever. But I want to see the Colts do their business. I could give a fuck about the Packers. Like I mean, I probably said it preseason a bunch of times. There's no reason for them to be ranked as high as they were, even with Jordan Love. I think it was dog shit, but this week I'll take the Colts. We'll see how the Packers fare with Malik Willis, who decided to take a sack at the end of the Brazil
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
also I'm gonna
Yeah,
also take the Colts.
yeah,
We
nice
got
work, Malik.
Jacksonville versus Cleveland.
It's a weird one for me.
Look, I'm just gonna say this now. For now, I'll just accept my Deshaun Watson L.
For
And
now,
look, it is what it is. He's playing. He played like shit. Obviously, as a person, he's. I mean,
has
he's
his things.
he's dealing with off the field
Did you hear
problems
what
too.
Dan Liebitard said about the Browns leaking his thing?
What?
Dan Liebitard, formerly of ESPN, whatever the fuck, he has his own show, whatever.
Mm.
Um, Said that the Browns leaked or put out this other assaultee um, to get rid of his $240 million contract.
I don't think so.
I agree.
I think there's a bigger chance that it either happened or somebody is going for a cash grab outside of Cleveland than Cleveland going like, we need to do something about him.
1,000%.
Um,
We need to get rid of his contract. He wastes too much of our money. You know.
but on the flip side, Jacksonville should be 1-0. They are
Yeah.
back. Trevor Lawrence is here. I am excited, and Jacksonville is going to catch a dub.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not all into Jacksonville. I'm not super crazy about them, but uh, fuck.
I am.
Honestly, I really think this is going to be a bounce back for the Browns.
Okay.
I think the Browns have to pull one out here if they want to contend in the AFC North.
San Francisco.
And
Oh, so you
yeah,
okay? So you're going Cleveland. Sorry, I thought you were. I thought you were wrapping up that. I thought you were. Yep, I'm going
I,
Cleveland.
I I definitely thought about it, but I mean, for all the stuff that we talked about the Browns preseason, I don't think there's any reason to ditch that right now just yet because of the terrible week one.
I'm not ditching it. It's just Browns are in a very shitty situation right now, and the
They are.
Jags are like hot, and they know they should be 1-0, and they're pissed. Like they're
I know,
they're.
but honestly, a piss Jags doesn't scare me that much.
I I think they might change your mind. They
Maybe, who
might. I
knows?
think
We'll
they
see.
might change your mind.
I'm wrong a
San
lot, so
San Francisco versus Minnesota.
Sanford. I mean, obviously they don't have CMC, um, but I think they're no less the football team without Christian. They have Jordan Mason, who last week showed that he could be good enough, and they have all three other pieces plus Brock. So
Yeah,
if
either
if Minnesota wins, then fucking good on Sam Darnold.
yeah,
Beautiful.
uh, either
Like
the Sam
props.
Darnold, either the Sam Darnold hype lasted a week,
Yeah,
or this might be like the most memorable week 2 moment of all time.
agreed. Yeah, if Sam Darnold beats the Niners week 2, it's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So with that being said, I'm going San Francisco
Yes,
because there's just no way.
but honestly, I might in my heart root for Minnesota. I might root for
Oh,
Sam Darnold.
absolutely,
I'm rooting for Sam
absolutely,
Darnold.
for
I want to
sure,
see it,
for sure,
but I'm
obviously,
gonna
but
yeah.
it's not happening. Seattle versus New England.
Nah, Seattle all day. New England's first win. Yeah, good for you. You got one dub this year. Congrats.
Mm,
Gives a shit. I mean,
mm,
I don't care. I
mm,
is Kenneth hurt
mm-hmm.
like fully.
Doubtful.
Uh,
I'm not. I'm not gonna lie. Um, Seattle did not look good to me versus Denver.
no.
Like at all. And Denver, in my eyes, might be the worst team in the NFL. They're up there. Oh, Carolina, but they're up there.
Yeah.
Um, and Jacoby Brissett is better than Bo Nix.
Mhm.
Ramondre Stevenson and the Patriots' run game will be a problem. Is a problem.
Mhm.
Um, Seattle, like I said last week, I them and Denver, I think they're just both pretty bad teams. And Seattle came out with the dub. Kenneth Walker decided to turn up in the second half. I think New England, for in a weird world, we're going to see them be 2-0.
Yeah. The more I think about it, it is possible. But in all of my heart of hearts, I can't bring myself to say the Pats are gonna win. I want Seattle to win. Um, Gerard Mayo hype, whatever the fuck you can call it, whatever. But I think the defense of Seattle, maybe they can get their offense running with some throwing of the ball to DK
Maybe.
and Tyler.
I
Maybe
mean, maybe, but I just. Uh,
this is a good evenly matched game. I mean, it's a game with, I mean, just two slightly above average teams, with the Seahawks gunning for a spot
Slightly below,
in the playoffs.
slightly above average.
I don't
You're
know why I
giving
said
them a.
above. I mean,
You're giving.
there's average teams.
You're giving. Yeah, I wouldn't even. Average. An average team is like Jacksonville.
I think then sure. The well, I think then Seattle's average, and I think the Pats are below average.
I guess sure, but I don't know.
It's been a week. We'll see. Who knows?
I'm like 70, 75% New England. 95% if Kenneth don't play.
I'm definitely not 90. No, I
Yeah,
mean honestly, if
yeah.
I'm speaking from if Kenneth doesn't play.
Kenneth Walker doesn't show up in the second half versus Denver, they might lose to the Broncos last week.
Listen to me.
The
Now this may be
Broncos.
fantasy biased. This may be fantasy biased. I have Zach Charbonnet, so Zach Charbonnet will show up. But honestly, I think if Kenneth can do what he does with that Seattle O line, I think there's a multitude of running backs who can do okay.
That's fine. That's fine. Take Seattle. Take Seattle. Jets versus Tennessee.
I have to take the Jets. I rode with them week one. Probably shouldn't have, but I don't want to see anything from Tennessee ever.
Look, the Jets better win this fucking game.
They
I'm
better.
not gonna lie. The Jets, to
This
me,
is this is basically the rest of their season.
this is a bounce back game for them. This is a get back game for them. They need to just if if they do not just roll through Tennessee, like we're gonna have to start. And like I'm gonna say for the next couple of episodes, I know it's overreactions. I'm overreacting. We might have to start talking about the chances of the window for the Jets Super Bowl run possibly closing a
Quick.
lot sooner or quicker than we thought.
Yeah. No, I mean this needs to be an Aaron Rodgers I own you type of game.
Mm,
He needs to fuck this shit out of Tennessee Titans.
mm.
And honestly, it just needs to be the Jets need to figure out who the fuck they are.
Yeah,
Obviously, they had a whole year of being weird with whatever quarterback they played with, and were never really good enough. The
I mean,
defense better play like they're supposed to, and yeah, A-Rod he better be A-Rod.
and the Jets just their hype, like preseason hype last year. It was like right AFC Championship bound, like shit. Who knows? Now it's like one one bad game from Aaron Rodgers on the Jets, and it's like I don't know. Maybe this Jets team is trash. So it's like the obviously the overreactions are gonna fly either way. Because had Aaron Rodgers had a great game and they put up 40 on San Fran, then it would have been Jets to Super Bowl for the next 10 weeks. So
Yep.
you know, but yeah, no, I am gonna go Jets for sure. Giants
Commanders.
versus
End of story.
Commanders.
Commanders. Commanders.
Dan Quinn said 16 carries for JD was definitely too much and not the game plan. They expect him to be throwing a lot more. Which don't squint your face at that. He don't need to run 16 times a game.
No, I was trying to think of who JD was.
Oh, okay. Your quarterback.
Yes.
Your quarterback. But
No,
yeah.
that's a lot.
Giants suck. Washington doesn't suck as bad, so I'm gonna go with Washington.
It's very, very close. I mean, we could very well lose this football game.
How close is it though? Is it that close? Because I think y'all
It's
are.
it's pretty
I
close.
think
I
y'all
mean,
are.
I've seen us lose a lot to the
I,
Giants recently.
I think y'all are like obviously better than the Giants.
For now,
I just
we'll
think y'all.
see this week. I mean, but there's
We'll
no
definitely
telling.
see this week. Rams versus Arizona.
The
Kyler
Rams better
and
win.
Arizona showed hope in the first week, in week one versus Buffalo, especially in the first half. Um, Rams lost. Cool. Whatever. Honestly, there were a lot of moments. If they were a couple mistakes away from winning that game. I mean, they were a couple of
Obviously,
mistakes,
Puka's out.
and I don't think that's gonna.
I don't like. It's weird. I don't want to shit on Puka, but it's like this Rams offense is so productive
Mm,
throwing the ball with whoever they have that losing Puka does not by any means mean the end of this road. Um, Obviously, Cooper Cup is going to get doubled and dogged the hell out of, but they still have good enough receivers who can catch the ball and get open. So, yeah, I don't think it's really going to affect this team as much as people thought it would, but I like the Rams.
Yeah. I think the Rams bounce back, but we will definitely see how good the Cardinals really are this week.
I don't think they're very
Um,
good, and I think Dallas sucks, but
Dallas. You said Dallas,
I said Dallas sucks.
and you mean that? You meant to say Dallas there.
Yeah. No, I meant to say that just because it was close, wrong team.
Okay.
I was talking. Dallas played the Browns, not the Bills,
Yeah, Dallas played the Browns, not the Bills.
not the Cardinals.
Cincinnati versus Kansas City.
KC all day. The Bengals shuck. They stink. Joe Burrow sucks. This is the only team I'm going to go in on. Fuck everything about Kansas City. Um, I'm not a fan of anybody in the AFC North, but I cannot stand the Bengals.
Damn, dude.
I think the Bengals are absolute fools for not paying Jamar. And if they don't, then they're gonna feel the wrath of Jamar not playing to the level that he's supposed to. And even if he does, I think Joe Burrow still sucks. They don't have a running game. They don't have a complete pass game because they barely a tight end, no second receiver. Jamar's gonna get tripled and doubled every fucking time, and Burrow's not good enough.
I feel your take, but I just want to go back to that one thing you said for a second. Like your heart can be like cold. Your heart can be cold as ice to every team besides Washington and every team in the AFC North. But you don't got like a
Yes.
little tiny spot. Friend to friend,
No.
co-host to co-host.
Of course I do.
You know, a little spot for Baltimore.
Of course I do.
I mean, it was just look. I can't stand any AFC North team.
No,
But
no,
if
no,
there's
no.
one, if there's one,
The way that I meant that was like, yes, obviously I feel for the Ravens. It will never feel the same as me, like the elatement of winning a game will never feel the same if it's the Ravens or the Commanders. I will always feel better about a Commanders win, but I
oh
don't
yeah, no,
feel but I don't feel that personal vendetta against an AFC North team,
and
which
that's
allows me to feel that toward the
yeah,
Bengals without
yeah.
being personal. This is a separate from a fandom.
Mm,
This is more of I truly think that the Bengals do suck.
that is so funny.
I think their O
That
line
is so
blows
funny.
chunks, and I think their defense is scraps at best.
I think they have a way better game than they do week one. And this would be the fucking game they decide to show off and like ball out, but
They
um,
won't.
they won't. Um, Either way, we either get a Kansas City loss or we get a 0-2 Bengals squad.
I'm going to be honest. I think this is the year that the Chiefs play well in the regular season, lose in the postseason.
That would be awesome. That would be
Because
awesome.
last year they played not great all regular season. And they won a lot of games,
Mm-hmm.
and then obviously swept the postseason.
Yeah, no, I will, I will take that 100%. Pittsburgh versus Denver. Look, I really don't want to hear another week of Justin Fields hype, but Pittsburgh's winning this game. So I mean, that's all I really got for that. I'm
And
not too excited though.
I'm not sure how much Justin Fields hype there will be. I mean, last week you can't hype Justin up, and it's the defense. I mean, we can call it Justin's win, but it will be the defense of Pittsburgh who will win them the majority of their games this year.
Let me take back the Justin Fields hype comment and say, in my eyes, to at least to me, it's when Russell decides he's good enough, he's good to play. It's his team.
Yes,
Just the
exactly.
fact that after the win versus Atlanta, they were having conversations about, should the Steelers stick with Justin Fields? Should they let
I
they just the fact that conversations like that are being had, and if he wins this game, when they win this game versus Denver, more I know they're gonna keep having
no,
certain people are gonna have those conversations.
of course. The problem is when Russ comes back, and say Russ has a bad first game or a bad second game or a bad whatever, and they start blaming games on Russ and all this shit. And it's like the majority of this team's outcomes is going to come down to their defense. Who you have in at quarterback isn't going to matter too much, but you would be better off with a Russell Wilson than you would a Justin Fields.
Well, yeah, so it doesn't matter who they're at quarterback out of those two. Okay. Okay. Yeah. No, I would agree, but obviously Pittsburgh. I think they are going to beat Denver.
Yes.
Um, Chicago versus Houston.
Houston. Chicago wins and fucking beautiful. Great on them. Go grab a dub. Caleb obviously looks like shit.
Yeah, that's
Um,
the. Those
the
are the
beautiful thing
questions.
about CJ Stroud is like never won a Heisman, was never talked about as he was when he got drafted. He was drafted second. He wasn't drafted as a guy who was gonna. I mean, when we looked at Houston early in the year last year, they weren't a team who was going to contend or going to do anything. And we get mid-season, we get late season, and CJ turns into a guy who's talked about in MVP conversations and talked about in futures and as a NFL player for a long time. And with Caleb, it's like, yeah, everything that we've said is. I mean, obviously he's played one fucking NFL game, but it's all been Heisman bullshit hype, which we've seen before. We've seen it not work out. So I don't know.
I
Give
mean, I
Caleb a few more weeks. Give him a full year. Give him another full 3 years. I don't think he'll be as good as CJ Stroud will be.
I think what I'm looking for is, will Caleb complete more than 50% of his passes? Will he throw 400 or more yards?
Yeah, probably not.
I don't know. I'm not totally sure, and I don't think that matters. I think Houston obviously catches this dub. I really think it's a pretty simple answer. The Chicago hype, I never bought into it. I'm not saying it's like a crash and burn situation. I'm just
No,
saying what people expected 2 weeks ago. Like their
well,
expectations should at least start to change.
their expectations were an immediate playoff team
Mm-hmm.
based off of the fact that they took out the entirety of the quarterback variable. And they said, hey, we have Keenan, we have Romo Dunze, who's also a rookie. We have DJ Moore. We have who's a DeAndre Swift. It's like this to me feels like a best case scenario. Sorry, worst case scenario. Panthers team. We saw what the Panthers did with. You remember that
With
before Bryce Young's first year, they brought in Hayden Hurst. They brought in Adam Thielen.
yes,
They
yes,
brought
yeah.
in.
Miles Sanders. We hyped
Was
it
Miles
up.
Sanders that year? They brought
Yeah,
in Miles Sanders.
we hyped it up a little bit.
Obviously not as much as Caleb because where Caleb was coming from was a little bit higher than Bryce Young, but either way, we thought about that team as a team that would not be the worst. Now, obviously, the Panthers will be fucking terrible, but I think it's time we start to look at the Bears like they'd be lucky to win 4, 5, 6 games instead of looking at them like a playoff team. Let Caleb be a rookie for a year. Let Romo Dunze be a rookie for a year. Let Keenan Allen waste the rest of
Retire.
his career. Yeah, exactly. Let him retire. Let him do his thing.
Let bro
Um,
retire, please.
but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Let
And then
Caleb develop as a player.
our final game, Monday Night Football, Atlanta versus Philly.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'd be shocked if Atlanta kept up. Um,
I mean, I'd be shocked if Atlanta scored
Scored.
14.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say scored.
I
If
paused.
Atlanta
Scored
scored.
14. Um,
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a masterclass by the Eagles. I think this is going to prove that bringing in a mid-tier to low-level long-term quarterback is a waste of money, especially when you spend $40 million a year on him.
I, I I don't know. I don't think them. See, right now Atlanta's in a
Now, I
terrible
don't. Now,
spot.
this game might not prove it,
Okay.
but it will start to crack and show what Kirk Cousins actually is, which is a below average quarterback.
If this team, if Atlanta's offense builds more chemistry, and this matchup happens week 11, 12, might be having a different conversation.
I think if this team builds chemistry with Pitts and Bijan and Drake London, I think that they can win 7 games.
That's wild. That's wild. I
I
mean,
know
they do have a pretty good defense as well.
it's not good enough.
Do you? I mean,
I know guys out there.
they have a great defense,
We'll
and
see.
the pickups they made. And I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, they did hold Pittsburgh to just field goals.
Agreed. But
And
Pittsburgh's offense, run by Justin Fields, sucks. Wait till
yeah,
they
but
hit the
multiple
powerhouse of A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan
but
Dotson, Saquon Barkley. It is the end of the Falcons before
multiple
we see it start.
multiple drives for the Steelers started literally at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, the Steelers' offense blows chunky dicks.
Yeah, but listen, I'm not saying that Atlanta is gonna have is not gonna have a tough day versus Philly's offense, but
But you're saying
for
that
you to
Atlanta's
say
defense is good.
that Atlanta with a good defense and them to build, to have good chemistry, that they can only win 7 games. I don't
But
know. I think that's a
I mean, do you
little.
think that Atlanta's offense will be good enough to?
I don't. They had a really bad week 1. They had a really bad first
No,
game.
I know, but prior to week 1, if you took Kirk Cousins, the same Kirk Cousins who was unable to get anything done in Minnesota except for one playoff appearance and a loss, you're expecting him to pull into a new system with younger, newer guys and expect him to play as good and better than he did in Minnesota. I don't see it.
Yeah.
I have no reason to believe that he will. And if he does, then good on him. But
I mean, but if
I,
we're gonna put all these other quarterbacks on the plate just because what they haven't performed well in a couple of years, and it might not even be because of age, it's like what?
I mean, it's the same play we put Russell Wilson on.
Ah,
Well, obviously Russell had
come
2
on,
horrible years with the
come on.
Broncos, but we were putting him in a closer pedestal when he went to the Broncos, when he went from the comfort of Seattle, the comfort of having a all around decent team to the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got Kirk coming from the all around somewhat decent team of Minnesota to the Falcons. Either way, I still don't think that his performance will help this team get past where they want to be, which is a playoff winner, a Super Bowl contender, whatever the fuck.
Oh, I mean, playoff winner, Super Bowl contender is. I feel like there is a middle ground between Super Bowl winner and 7-win team.
No, I think it'll be tough for them to make the playoffs this year.
Sure, sure. I still think there's a middle ground from that. Like I feel like seven wins is like pretty low. Like
All right,
7 to 10.
7 to 9, like 9 would get them into the playoffs.
9 would win their division.
Exactly.
So, but
Well,
that's
then eight's
well,
not going to
no,
get them into
no,
the
no,
playoffs.
no, no. 9 wouldn't win their division. I don't know how many. I don't know how many. I don't know how many wins the Bucks gonna have.
Well, then 9 might not even make the playoffs.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
So
possibly.
the Falcons will honestly have to win their division to make the playoffs. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening under Kirk, especially in this first year. And I mean,
I
the
just think
the
there's
the,
more
the, the
than.
immediate trust for Kirk seems to blow my mind.
Well, okay, the problem was, all right, Atlanta needs a quarterback. They got all these pieces. Time to make it happen. That was an assumption.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen what Kirk can do. Obviously, it's not the best fucking shit we've seen before, and you're saying he's never been able to get it done. I mean, if that's the case, a lot of quarterbacks have never been able to get it done.
Agreed, but
But if
of
Kirk,
all the quarterbacks who haven't been able to get it done, why should we expect them to though then and go get it done?
I mean, what's your definition of go get it done? And only
Win
one
a
team
playoff
can
game.
win. I mean,
Make the play.
okay,
I mean,
all right, make the playoffs. So okay, can I count out Atlanta as being able to make the playoffs this season after one bad game?
no.
No, I can't.
But no,
I
this
can't. I
I'm
can't
not
say that.
necessarily speaking on just Atlanta's game. It's the entirety of their offseason, the entirety of the hype of all their bullshit to bringing their team to making them think that they should be this big playoff contender, this powerhouse of a team because now they have Kirk and Kyle Pitts is going to get going and that Drake London's going to be a fucking animal and that Bijan I think has the most potential of anybody on this team.
It's
Um,
there. It's there, but at the same time, I mean, you go back and look at that Steelers game. There was absolutely nothing they could do with T.J. Watt. Kirk Cousins had no time to sit back there and make any type of decision. And I don't know how much time he's gonna have when Philly's getting back there to him.
what are
So
they going to do with Jalen Carter?
that's
What are
what
they
I'm
going to do with
saying.
this Philly
So
defense?
I
What are they going to do with this Philly offense?
I just don't want at the end of this season it to be, oh well, I guess Atlanta just needs to go with find another quarterback because they have all the pieces. They might not have the pieces they think they have
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they have the pieces they think they
on
have. Like I
offense.
said, I think Bijan is the only huge piece of this team who can be a massive potential. I don't think Drake London is nowhere near a top receiver in this league, like people think he is. I think Kyle Pitts, if they can get him going, is a top tight end, but Drake London is nowhere near a top receiver in this league.
But I'm going Philly.
Of course.
I'm going Philly. All right, and that wraps up our predictions. And as of right now, I'm 13-4, and you are 9-8.
No one listen to me. I'm wrong.
9-8, Devin. You were
Hey,
9-8.
I'm wrong. No,
Oh,
I'm wrong.
wrong about what?
Everything.
What?
So everyone should go bet on the Falcons to win. Everyone should go bet on the Bears and the Bengals and the Broncos. Go bet on them.
Maybe. I mean,
Maybe I'm wrong.
there definitely is a possibility. All right.
Now, again,
Um.
the NFL is wild and anything can happen, but who knows?
Okay. So I have not texted you about this. I have not asked you about this. We have not talked about it before the podcast. I need to get your genuine reaction to when I ask you this question or just bring up this subject. What do you guys say about Shannon Sharp? Uh,
Go get it, big fella. I don't care, dog. Dude, who cares? Some lady was calling him Papa.
oh my
She
god.
called him Papa.
So okay.
Dude, I honestly, I called a few people and I was like, whatever you do, don't look up Shannon Sharp. Please look up Shannon Sharp. And it's just like this weird like ground footage. Like if you drop your phone on the ground. First of all, why the fuck is he on Instagram Live? Something horribly wrong must have happened for him to hit his phone,
well,
push it off the bed, it to be on Instagram Live, and some lady's calling him Papa.
in his defense, Shannon Sharp is on Instagram a lot.
He is.
So if you have the Instagram app open, or say he was looking to post a picture or something, you could easily swipe over because you can go from posting a post, boom, to being on live.
You can swipe.
You when you're on the little thing, you know when you're on, you swipe when you go to post, it'll be like post, or you can swipe to go live.
I haven't
Swipe
had an
over.
Instagram in 10 years.
So when you
A
swipe over,
swipe to live is
well,
crazy.
no, you swipe. You can post or swipe over to be on the live thing, and then it takes one button to go live.
Gotcha.
So in theory, now I'm not saying I fully believe he's like he said he's pushing 60. Like he definitely went on Instagram Live on accident.
No, that was like you hear the phone tumble and
Dude, but it's
fall
just
down the
like
bed.
I don't know. I definitely. I mean, it. I think Shannon's reaction might be or response might be even funnier. I mean,
What do you say?
it's well. So you didn't see his response?
Well, no, I mean, all I saw was like, I mean, obviously he's an employee of ESPN now, so he has to like take it seriously or whatever. But
Oh,
if he was just on the nightcap, then it's way different.
he was not. No, 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 no. I think I think if he had to take it serious for ESPN, he would have had to take it serious on the nightcap,
What did he say on the nightcap?
dude. He got on there and he was like, he started it off with like, I'm a very private person and I I am very embarrassed for more
He
than
did say
just
he was embarrassed. Yes.
not for just me, but like the other people in my life and the people they're trying to figure out just what it is and this and that. Uh, but I told you, Uncle Shay, get it in. I told you to get it in. I told you, Shay, get it in. Now I am a healthy, active man. And I will not deny that. And you got Ocho
I didn't even hear
Cinco.
that, but I said the big fella's getting it in.
You got Ocho Cinco just laughing his ass off. What's funny is like a week ago, like Shannon was talking to Chad about how like he was like unprofessional.
Who Chad was unprofessional?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then even Ocho Cinco's like, a guy who's just calling me, unprofessional, and did something pretty unprofessional to me. Maybe it's just me. And I mean, and Shannon, I mean, they went into detail. Like Chad was like asking him, like, dude, Chad was repeating things like that he heard, like
Like,
he was.
oh, Papa,
It was, I don't know, give me that. Like he
give
was
me
getting,
that dick,
yeah,
Shannon.
he was getting weird. Like, see,
Yeah,
I didn't even feel right repeating. I don't know.
that feels weird repeating it. Yeah,
Something about Chad Ochocinco repeating something he heard a woman saying to Shannon Sharp while they were having sex seems like something that I would just never like. That is
never think
just the
of.
weirdest sentence I think I've ever said in my life.
Sure.
Right? Like it's got to
Yeah,
be one of the
of
weirdest
course.
things.
Chad's talking about Shannon fucking him.
So me impersonating Chad Ochocinco, impersonating a woman having sex with Shannon Sharp and what she's saying, I don't think I want to do. But
Mm. You
I
can.
don't know. I thought that was the last thing I expected to see or wake up to or just have.
Yeah, no, it was. I don't know. It was like Shannon Sharp, but the first thing I saw was like Shannon Sharp posts a sex tape. I was
Which
like,
I think
no, he
you would
didn't post
appreciate.
anything. He's just like,
Well, knowing your humor, and you might need to go watch this since you said you didn't watch their like whole conversation about it. Knowing your humor, you would have loved the jokes they were making. I mean, Chad was like, I mean, I'm just glad it wasn't a Michael and it was a Michelle. I'm just glad.
well, there was the whole thing that it was Michelle Beadle.
Yeah, well, or he said Shannon was like, Cat Williams called me. He's like, the first thing he said, "Hey, you ain't gay today. You ain't gay today." And then somebody, I can't remember who it was. It was like, God, I don't want to put it on. I don't want to put it on. I don't want to put it on somebody, but it was like either a former NFL player or somebody, and they were like, odds are it was a dude. Like
No,
right when it happened, they were like, heard Shannon Sharp, blah blah blah. Like odds are it was probably a dude, and like I'm saying, like it was probably like Antonio Brown or some shit. I don't want to
sure,
put it on him, but it was somebody like that, and I was
sure.
like, wow. So
Nah,
people just love making these jokes about Shannon. I don't
I mean,
know.
I don't think the odds are that it's a dude. I mean, good for Shannon. Go get it in. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
I, I think it's overblown. I mean, he didn't post nothing. He just went on Instagram Live by accident.
overblown. I wouldn't say it was overblown. It's definitely like a
No,
hot topic. Like it's
but just the how the initial post I saw was like Shannon Sharp post sex tape, said he was hacked, all this stuff. It's like
well, he did.
the
He
man,
did.
the man fucked up.
There was a post. He said, I got hacked.
No. Well, no, there was a post that he got hacked, but there was no post of the video. It was just a accidental Instagram live.
I mean,
For him to say he got hacked while a woman is shouting his name is a little odd.
well, no, I will say that like,
But it just sounds like he's having 50-some-year-old dude sex.
but like also like that is like a perfect hack. Like you hack into someone's account, just show the ceiling and mock like you're having sex with the person's account. You're
Sure.
just mocking. Like you can't lie. That is like
No,
would be like an
this may
amazing prank
happen. This may happen again.
in the
To
future. Now this definitely gave somebody an idea.
This is how they're getting Paul Pierce again.
Oh man.
No, never mind. Paul Pierce will
Oh,
do
did
it to himself.
Paul Pierce
Paul
didn't
Pierce
get
will do it to himself every time.
what? Remind me, that wasn't what caused the firing or the let go of Paul, or did it? Is
No,
that is
Paul
that what
Pierce hanging with the strippers was what got him fired.
Shannon's not going to face no repercussions?
Nah, Paul Pierce's was different.
I know it was different, but do you not think it was still
No,
a?
I definitely think that Shannon is going to tread some water lightly,
You don't think it was
and
a punishment level, like punishment worthy mistake?
maybe, but ESPN's in a very weird spot where they might need some of their people.
For sure, for sure. I haven't
Like
seen
back
them.
then, like this was what 3 years ago when Paul Pierce got fired. Like that was before they started laying off everybody. They
Yeah,
got
but
nobody.
still, I feel like, and I'm not saying like I'm not calling for Shannon Sharp's job or anything,
Of
but
course
like
not.
it is it. I don't know.
It's
It,
eerily, but it
I,
was. But Paul Pierce's was like
I will
different. It was
okay,
he had 5 strippers at his house, and he was like,
but I
"Oh,
think if this same exact thing happened to him 3 years ago, it probably would have got his ass fired.
mm-hmm."
Shannon Sharp definitely has like the good credit of just being just not fucking up in the past.
While also being a better TV personality
Yeah, that too.
than
That
Paul
as
Pierce.
well.
With
That as
Because
well.
Paul Pierce would come on ESPN and say, "Nah,
Paul Pierce, my favorite.
nah, KD ain't better than me.
My
Nah,
f- well, no,
KD
Dwayne
ain't even
Wade,
close to me.
D Wade.
D Wade ain't close to me."
But my
It's
favorite
like,
thing, my favorite
come
Paul
on, bud.
Pierce, my favorite Paul Pierce quote was Steph's a wing guy.
Yeah, get
You
the
know,
fuck. Yeah,
Steph's the
get
wing
the
guy.
fuck out of here.
He's not like me. You know, he wasn't like, I'm better than Steph. Steph was just a wing guy.
Nah, Steph is every inch of that court. Go fuck yourself, Paul Pierce. Now, Paul was a way easier fire and a way more egregious action than what Shannon did. Shannon will be okay, and
Devin,
I
I think
mean,
you're
but to me, it's like again, like Shannon
open
can
your.
say like Shannon be like, oh, we getting it in, but dude, you having like I've been married for 12 years, type of doing it. Like
I don't
ain't
think
nothing.
Shannon's married.
No, he ain't married, but that's the way he's doing it. There ain't nothing cool happening
I mean,
around
I don't think
the
you
Sharp
know.
house.
I don't think you know. All you heard was noise. But I think open your eyes for a second because you're like, what Paul Pierce did was way worse. Paul Pierce was partying on Instagram Live and showed some strippers he was hanging out with. Shannon was fucking on Instagram Live.
No, I
He
know,
was
but
fucking on
the
Instagram Live.
intention.
But okay, the intention was Paul Pierce was
Paul Pierce was
maybe was a little drunk,
shake that ass.
but like
It's different.
he wasn't fucking on Instagram Live.
Agreed, but Shannon wasn't showing his old fucking slamming hammer
Bro,
hanging out.
he was one sheet pool phone flip pool from away from it
He
being
a
one.
thousand percent was.
I mean, and that's the thing. It could have not
But
been
that would have started a
intentional.
whole nother career for Shannon Sharp,
I
on a
don't think he
multitude of
would have.
different
I don't
websites.
think he would have went that route.
Lord knows.
I don't think
Um,
so. But it is funny. It is hilarious.
but yeah,
I
I
do think
mean,
it's hilarious.
I don't know. Good for Shannon. I mean, go have your 60-year-old dude type of boning. Go do that. Who cares? Who gives a shit?
Um. Okay. College football, Florida. And we got Texas A&M in Gainesville.
And Mister Mertz is starting the football game. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Billy Napier said he intends on using both quarterbacks versus Texas A&M. So we basically have two QB1s, and that always works.
That has never
So
worked.
can't wait for
I mean,
that.
I would rather see Graham Mertz QB1 and then Graham Mertz shit the bed. DJ Lagway come in the second half, try to wrap shit up. But I mean, I think for Florida's sake at this point, I think DJ Lagway, it's go get him reps now. Because if you want to keep him next year, you're gonna have to give him some rips
Yeah, Florida's cooked. Florida's just cooked. That's all it is.
this year.
Memphis better not beat Florida State. I'm gonna say that right now.
Who y'all got?
Florida,
Yeah,
Texas A&M. Yeah, but Memphis better not.
yeah.
Memphis
Did
better
you
not be. What's up?
did you see the Florida State video?
The water.
Yeah,
The water gun. Them playing around with the water gun.
it's one of the goofiest fucking videos I've ever. And I guess I mean yes, it's a college football team. Go have some fucking fun. But it's hilarious that it's DJ, Allo, whatever the fuck you say his name is, and then just some dude getting chased by a big ass super soaker. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't take it that deep. Some people are like, oh,
Some dude getting chased by Shannon Sharp.
All right, I'm not even gonna comment on that. Colorado versus Colorado State. Devin,
CSU, give them to me all day. Did you see
see
what
your
CSU had to say?
what?
They said we fucked up last year. They said all your Instagram followers is nothing. We gonna fuck you up.
What are they?
I don't know. I don't really care.
You do care. You said
No,
you do
no.
care.
Of
It's your
course I
favorite
care,
team.
but my thing, the reason I don't really care is because Colorado clearly is not who they said they were going to be. So
Oh,
in my eyes, I think best case scenario. I mean, maybe not best case scenario, but I think that this game will be competitive, which it shouldn't be
yeah.
if they are who they said
Okay. I
they were.
mean, if it's gonna be competitive, like I guess, like
No, no, I think it will be a competitive game, but it shouldn't be for
But
Colorado.
that did remind me. I saw this thing. It said an NFL executive believes Deion Sanders is a guy who lacks detail, his hard edge style, and running people out of there, and he is just really promoting his son in Colorado.
I think that's what anyone with a brain would think.
Yeah,
Anyone
yeah.
who isn't delusional can clearly see that he is promoting his family and Travis Hunter,
Oh,
and clearly does not care about the overall performance of his football team.
but yeah, nothing really exciting this week for college football.
No,
Nothing much.
there's some
Um,
teams who should do what they're supposed to do, and
yeah, it's just a lot of like ranked teams going up against just being
randoms.
lame. Alabama State.
Now, Notre Dame shouldn't lose to NIU, or NIU shouldn't beat anybody else this season, but I think NIU is ranked, right? 23 or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, weird.
Okay. All right. Last thing, fantasy football. Let's pull it
Yes.
up. Let's take a look at it. Now, I do have a problem because MVP Josh Allen got me well, yeah, let's go to the our league. He got
Hold
me
on, didn't Kansas
15.
play today?
I'm not sure why.
Kansas lost to UNLV today,
So,
Las Vegas.
Kansas isn't like football
I
oriented.
know, but weird. Whatever.
Josh Allen got me 15 points. That's
Yeah,
not
he didn't
good
throw
at
the ball
all.
much. No.
That's not great at all. And you know who he didn't throw the ball to at all?
Keon Coleman
Yeah, my flex.
didn't throw him once because
Zero
I
touch.
had him, my other fantasy team, I had him on my bench. So I was like, I'm not touching Keon.
Absolutely nothing. Well, to be honest with you, I mean, it was either him. Oh, man. I fucked up. I didn't mean to do this.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I fucked up. Okay, I fucked up. Yeah,
Who's your flex?
I fucked up. I okay. Yeah. I made a tiny blunder. I deserve this L. Should have definitely noticed the Pickens on the bench and probably just threw him in over Keon Coleman. But
Ooh.
you win some, you lose some. Keon Walker. Kenneth Walker, obviously right now he's doubtful. So if I cannot play him, my running back situation is going to be Ramondre Stevenson and Chuba Hubbard.
Mm.
Obviously, other receivers, I got Jamar, Mike Evans, Pat Fairmuth at tight end. We got Quay Walker and Alex Anzalone at defensive players. I got Detroit's defense going up against Tampa Bay, and then I have Houston's kicker.
Mm.
Um,
Houston's kicker can do it.
okay,
48 points
okay,
he's projected.
we're okay. Detroit's defense versus Tampa or Philly versus Atlanta.
Detroit versus Philly.
Philly versus Atlanta.
Philly all day.
Okay. And then I mean, people I got in the bench. I got Christian Kirk on the bench. I mean, and I don't, I'm not gonna put
I don't
I
trust
mean,
Kristen Kirk being out there.
I'm not gonna put Pickens in over Jamar or Mike. All right.
No.
Okay. So yeah, I'm pretty locked in on that side. And then on the other side, in the other league, Josh Allen obviously locked in already. Najee Harris, Tony Pollard at running back because I do have Kenneth Walker in this league as well. I have Tony Pollard replacing him. Jamar Chase, Chris Olave, who got me a whopping like 2 points last week, so hopefully he plays better
Yep.
this week, gets some type of look. Um, Tyler Conklin at tight end, Diggs at flex, Alex Singleton and Logan Wilson as my defensive players. Seahawks defense versus New England, and Cameron Dicker.
Dicker the kicker.
I may have to go pick up a different offense. I don't know how I feel. I'll take Seattle versus New England. I don't care. I'll take it.
Sure.
All right. Are there any changes you would suggest, like maybe not playing Chris Olave? Because I could move Diggs to that spot and put in somebody else in my flex.
Who's in your flex?
The only options it looks like for flex would be either DeAndre Swift or Zay Flowers. Which Zay
I mean,
could
the
have.
Bears might rely on their run game a little bit.
Zay could have a day
Zay
versus
could
Vegas.
anytime have a day. Um, Olave playing against
Dallas
Dallas defense.
might get strapped.
That might be a game time decision, but
I might lean towards Zay. Zay in the flex.
could be.
Move Diggs to receiver. Don't play Olave versus Dallas this week. I mean, let's be real. Saints aren't doing anything productive on offense versus
Probably
Dallas.
not. No,
And
I
when
mean
they were productive last week,
they
Chris
played the
Olave
fucking
still did
Panthers.
nothing.
True.
Um,
Put
but all
in
right.
Zay. Give him his chance this week, and
What do you got, Devin? What are we looking at for you?
I got two picks at quarterback. I can either play A-Rod against Tennessee or Dak against New Orleans. I'm going to stick with Dak for this week. I think that this offense can light the fuck out of the Saints. I got Derrick Henry, obviously, against Vegas. He's going to go nuts. I had James Cook, 32 and a quarter points against Miami. Beautiful. Great start. Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf at receiver, George Kittle at tight end. I got Zach Charbonnet in right now at flex. Isaiah McDuffie, Jawan Bentley defense. Broncos defense against Pittsburgh and Cairo Santos kicker.
You sure about
Um,
that? You sure about that? You sure that's
Broncos
going?
D against Pitt.
Yeah. You
I'm
might
gonna
want
stick with him.
maybe you might want to flirt with free agency.
I did flirt and I went for Broncos because my defense before wasn't good.
Who'd you have before?
The Bucks.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna, I mean, take my chances against the bad Justin Fields Pitt offense. We'll see. But I have options at flex with I got Christian Watson, Gus Edwards. Not really too many options actually. Dalton Schultz maybe. I think I stick with Charbonnet and see what he can do with this Seattle offense.
Okay. Okay.
But
I
he's
mean,
projected 20, so we'll see.
and Dak over Aaron.
Yeah, I think this week. I mean, I obviously I think that
Aaron don't light Tennessee up.
I mean, he could, but I think that Dallas will do what they're supposed to do early in the season. I think they have a more together offense currently than the Jets do, and Dak's proven to be a good fantasy quarterback as of now.
Okay. Okay. I see. Yeah, no, I have no faith in my fantasy team this week. I'm definitely losing in both leagues, especially after the Josh Allen performance and the 0 points from Keon Coleman. Shout out to
Yeah,
bro. But with
yeah. I'm
all that,
hopeful this week. We'll see.
no, yeah, I think you definitely have the best options out
Yes.
out of your entire team.
Yeah.
But we talked Thursday night football, Bills Mafia being sensitive. Tua, should he play football again? Probably not. Week 2 previews and predictions, fantasy football, Shannon Sharpes Instagram live, some college football. Devin, is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
I had something I was gonna say, but I completely forgot. So go Jaden McDaniels. Hopefully Magic Johnson doesn't. Hopefully he imparts some things on him, but not the others. Not the bad things.
Yeah,
The
that
the
would
A
be
to the I to the D to the S.
that would be cool.
If he wouldn't put that on him, but yeah, go Skins. Fuck him up.
All right. Okay. Well, with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of On It. We will be back on Tuesday to discuss all of Week Two's games, to talk Monday Night Football, possibly be live reacting to Monday Night Football, um, fantasy football, MVP voting, everything, all the drama that's going to unfold after Week 2 of the NFL season. We will be here to talk about. Hopefully you enjoyed. We'll be back. Brand new episodes every Saturday and Tuesday. It has been me. It has been Devin. It has been real. We are out.
They're eating dogs.